As of right now, mermaids are believed to be works of fiction, but with over 90% of the ocean still unexplored, there's those that put forward the idea that they could exist in small regions. For hundreds of years, sailors have reported encountering ugly oceanic creatures. They describe them as looking human-like, but with the bottom half matching that of a fish. Stories were soon shared and many believed that these underwater inhabitants were genuine. Depending on who you talk to, some claim that they were good and would help humans in times of need, while others said they kept their distance and in some cases were actually evil. As mentioned though, today the scientific world has said there's no proof of these underwater creatures, but that hasn't stopped people coming forward with their own encounters. The most recent one is these photographs that have been making the rounds on social media. They were posted to a cryptid group. For those unaware, cryptids are labelled as creatures that are not recognised in the scientific world. For example, the Loch Ness Monster and Bigfoot. The photographs do appear to show what looks like a mermaid. Various photos were taken before it jumped into the water and swam off. One of the issues with these reports though is that it's hard to track down a source. Some claim the photographs were taken in the Amazon rainforest, while others said they were captured somewhere in the Philippines. As of right now, not much information can be gathered about the photographs. As skeptics have pointed out though, when it comes to mermaid photos and videos, they can easily be faked. Not everyone is of this opinion though. Amateur researchers have claimed that early humans could have adapted to an underwater lifestyle. This has become known as the aquatic ape theory, and this is the idea that humans ventured into the oceans millions of years ago. Some theorists have put forward the idea that it's one of the reasons why we're so different from other species of apes. They claim that bipedalism was achieved by venturing into the water millions of years ago. What's interesting is that some species of monkeys show this trait while crossing shallow rivers. It allows them to keep their head above the water and also look out for predators. Humans have hairless skin when compared to other apes. We have it on our head to protect us from the sun. Meanwhile, primates such as baboons and other monkeys which live on the savannah have neither lost their hair nor developed an upright posture. This is why some people have put forward this theory. Where did we learn this and why are we so alike, but at the same time so different from these other apes? Our brains greatly expanded at one point, and it's thought this was promoted by the protein-rich fish diet. We have a hooded nose that helps prevent water from entering the nostrils. Although these are interesting points, scientists have said it doesn't prove that mermaids once existed, and that people back then were most likely misidentifying common oceanic life. For example, manatees under certain light can take on a humanoid form. Space no longer seems unreachable for humans. Walking on the moon is arguably one of our most impressive feats. Various researchers have said that in order to carry on, we need to look to the stars and start exploring other planets. Since venturing into space, thousands of images have been taken, some of which show important details of planets, moons and asteroids, and others which are blank. However, within this vast collection are some that have stood out, and this is because those that have looked at them have struggled to explain what they're looking at. One such photograph was shared back in 2015, but not many people know about it. One of the first places to feature the images were various UFO websites, stating that it possibly showed a disc-shaped UFO hovering above the moon's surface. According to UFO researchers, they say the moon is of particular interest to UFOs, and have even gone as far as saying that these UFOs use the far side of the moon. This is the side that doesn't face the Earth, and they do this in order not to be seen by us. NASA and other officials have said these are just theories, and that there's never been any proof to suggest that UFOs are on the moon. But believers use photographs like this to suggest that there's more happening on the moon than what we're being told about. Although many would dispel the notion that intelligent alien life exists elsewhere in our galaxy, There are a number of theorists that not only believe that alien life is here, but that such extraterrestrials have already established vast research bases on our planet, for the sole purpose of studying the human race like a pack of lab mice. Many people falsely believe that sightings of UFOs have only spawned in the modern era, due to science fiction movies and other similar popular culture references in the mainstream. This is far from the truth, as ancient accounts of alien activity and unidentified flying objects exist all throughout history. As of today, not much information can be gathered about this strange object seen hovering above the moon's surface. One person at the time suggested that it's actually an optical illusion, and from our perspective it looks like this object is hovering when it isn't. But others debunk this idea and said you can clearly see that something is there and it's not making contact with the moon. Even astronauts themselves have come forward and told stories of strange objects that they've seen in space. One of the most influential American heroes of the 1950s, as well as the key figure in helping to locate a number of nuclear sites all around the world, was that of Major Gordon Cooper. Gordon Cooper has been a part of a number of top secret missions in space, with several revolving around the use of highly advanced technologies. During one of his many space missions, he claimed to have come into contact with an extraterrestrial craft. During Gordon Cooper's space mission that included a solo journey with a planned 22-orbit trip around the Earth, he claimed to have seen a glowing object that appeared to be bright green slowly approach his spacecraft, and this happened as he viewed it through the porthole. Additionally, the approach of the object was also picked up by the Machia tracking station, which can be found in the town of Machia in Australia, confirming Cooper's encounter. This would lead to the astronaut eventually agreeing to take on a 2-day mission, in which he would work to analyse footage and evidence of extraterrestrial visitation of the planet, that would eventually lead him to giving a speech at the United Nations to discuss his findings. During his speech, he described later coming across evidence of extraterrestrial crafts, gathered evidence of anomalous aircrafts, as well as stating the following: "I saw with my own eyes a defined area of ground being consumed by flames, with 4 indentations left by a flying object which had descended in the middle of a field. Beings had left the craft. There were other traces to prove this. They seemed to have studied topography. They had collected soil samples, and eventually they returned to where they'd come from, disappearing at enormous speed." End quote. It's estimated that thousands of unidentified flying objects are reported every year, and although it's suspected that a large majority of these can be easily explained, whether that's as natural phenomena, wildlife such as birds, the military, weather balloons or drones, some have said that a few of these UFO reports are hard to explain. But what happens when these strange crafts are photographed on things like the moon and other planets? The list of possible explanations suddenly becomes shorter. Regardless, space agencies have said they've never seen a photograph which has caused them to label it as an unidentified flying object. One interesting story comes from Nikola Tesla, and this happened when he was working with radio equipment. Though its influence in history has been astounding, the small broadcast device we know as the radio has not been around for very long. In fact, its inventor Nikola Tesla did not first conceive of the device until 1885. Despite the young age of the device, it was made apparent that Mr. Tesla was far ahead of his own time when coming up with its invention, being the only inventor of his time to be made aware of the electromagnetic spectrum and the ability to tap into its power and uses. Oddly enough, Tesla wrote extensively in his notes that when he made the first radio capable of receiving and broadcasting a signal, as soon as he turned on the device he could already hear another person's voice on the other side. He would later go on to claim that people transmitting him a signal were those of beings living on the surface of Mars, and that they were attempting to make first contact with him. This was only made more eerie as Nikola Tesla wrote that this voice was that of a man calling out his name, saying Tesla 123 over and over again, before the signal cut out entirely. Many researchers speculate that this signal could have been nothing more than background radiation misinterpreted, and could have been caused by a solar wind of the sun. However, many believe that perhaps something far more creepy could have been going on in the background. No explanation for this strange occurrence has been provided, and still many more speculate that perhaps Nikola Tesla made contact with something not quite human, ranging from extraterrestrials to time travelers. Various theories have been put forward on trying to discover the root of Nikola Tesla's first received broadcasts. The underwater world is one that's full of mysteries. Every year, scientists and researchers discover thousands of new species, showcasing how little we know about our oceans and what lives in it. Some interesting discoveries have been made by amateur researchers. Using Google Earth allows anyone to pretty much view any location on our planet, and one of the most interesting places to look at is that of our oceans. Those who have spent countless hours on the app have said they've seen some strange things. One of the most recent discoveries is said to be that of a massive pyramid-like structure, with those who have seen it going on to say that it looks thousands of meters in height. The person who found it said they were scrolling through Google Earth and randomly zoomed into one area. After looking around, they found a large structure that appeared to be thousands of meters in height. After zooming out and looking around the area, they said they couldn't find anything similar. They showed the image to a few people and they suggested that he may have found an ancient structure. Interestingly, this isn't the first time that a large pyramid-like structure has been found in the ocean, and it's caused some to say these could be proof of ancient civilizations that were lost to the depths. This isn't far-fetched either. One location that's said to have a pyramid along with a city is that of Lake Fuxian. This mystery is located in Fuxian Lake, which can be found in the Yunnan province in China. This discovery was made back in 2006, with many reports being made by divers and water enthusiasts in the area. They claim that the appearance of what seemed to be an underwater building could be seen. Enough reports were made, and on the 13th of June a team of archaeological divers decided to search the lake. They discovered the remains of a group of huge ancient buildings at the bottom of the lake, the most noted of them being is a vast stone pyramid located in the centre. The archaeologists were stumped on how this massive structure got here completely intact. When they looked back through the historical records, they found evidence of an ancient city that was established in the area that is now Lake Fuxian. However, this doesn't close the case on the mysterious pyramid. The local legends told that the city sank to the bottom of the lake. The historical records that were kept showed that the once capital was made mostly of clay and wood, but the remains that have been found at the bottom of the lake are made entirely of stone. Surveys of the land have revealed that the complex at the bottom of the Fuxian Lake covers 10.8 million square feet. This is far larger than the once capital had ever been. One person said the following about this recent ocean discovery. "I like the look of this one. It's important to remember that 99% of Earth's history has been lost. Many civilizations have come and gone, and we need to look to the oldest pyramids on our planet. Once comparing them to these, we can figure out that these are older." End quote. While another person said this, "It's important to understand that much of human history has been lost. Many civilizations have come and gone that we have no clue about. Millions of years has caused our planet to take on a different look, and it's not out of the realm to suggest that many of these civilizations are now at the bottom of the oceans. I'm sure if we had the opportunity to drain our planet's oceans, we would make some incredible discoveries. So when people say it's unlikely that pyramids are underneath the waves, I find it highly unlikely. Divers and underwater archaeologists have found proof of ancient civilizations. It was only in 1933 that the first sighting of the lost city of Heraklion was made, showing us that this ancient trading city went undiscovered for years." End quote. Skeptics though have suggested that what's been seen here is nothing more than a normal underwater anomaly, going on to say that anyone can scroll through Google Earth and find something similar. Amateur researchers though have said although the ocean is filled with various anomalies, 99% of them don't look like pyramids. Those who research ocean anomalies have said that pyramids have been found throughout the world, so what's to say that undiscovered ones aren't laying at the bottom of the ocean? Back in 2016, a strange and unexplainable deep-sea anomaly was discovered. Spotted using state-of-the-art satellite information, there appears to be a massive pyramid construction underwater that completely dwarfs the size of the pyramid seen at Giza. It appears that the structure seems to be somewhere around 3.5 to 11 miles across, and looks to be resting in a large area of underwater terrain in the Pacific Ocean, a little west of Mexico. Many can even view the massive structure using Google Earth satellite images, when looking up the coordinates 12 degrees north and 119 degrees west. The discovery of the object was made by a researcher located out of Argentina, by the name of Marcelo Iguasta. He claims that the structure could be evidence of the formation of an ancient civilization, long before man was supposedly capable of roaming the planet, and that at a different time in Earth's history, could have experienced a change in tide that would have allowed the construction of a monstrosity. However, his theories have not prevented a wide range of theories from forming in the community. Many believe that it could very well be a possibility that the structure isn't that of a large underwater pyramid, but that of a secret alien base inhabiting the ocean floor. Many have often referenced the existence of strange sightings of unidentified submerged objects, or that of UFOs exiting from the ocean below, and shooting off into the sky in different maritime accounts. Given the structure's massive size, sudden appearance and strange artificial shape, this has led many to undoubtedly believe that it appears to be of extraterrestrial origin. Interestingly, other researchers have picked up on the discovery, and have agreed that it looks like a large pyramid. Given the large number of reported USOs throughout the area, known as unidentified submerged objects, that have demonstrated similar properties to that of unidentified flying objects, this has led many researchers to believe that the underwater pyramid is actually a base, and is still being used in the modern day. So what do you make of these interesting underwater discoveries, and do you think they're pyramids? Be sure to leave your questions and answers in the comment section below, and help us to grow this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.